Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment a grand old castle in the Danish countryside, a place with centuries of history, hidden rooms, and sprawling gardens. Now imagine that in those gardens stand two very special trees, planted not for kings or queens, but for two little boys who would grow up to capture the public's attention, Count Nikolai and Count Felix of Denmark. For years, this was their childhood secret, their very own, Barndomslot, their childhood castle. You see, when the Danish press recently revealed what they called a hidden secret from the prince's early years, they weren't talking about scandal or politics. They were talking about memories. About a childhood home with meaning far beyond its stone walls. That home is Schackenborg Castle, an estate tucked away in southern Jutland. It's not just any castle, it's the place where Prince Joachim, their father, built private traditions for his young family. One of the most touching traditions. Every time a child was born, Joachim planted a tree in the castle gardens. For Nikolai, a mighty copper beech. For Felix, a tulip tree. And as the boys grew taller, so too did their trees, living reminders that this castle was more than a residence. It was the heart of their childhood. Now, who are these two young men? Nikolai, born in 1999, was the first child of Prince Joachim and his then-wife Alexandra. Felix, born in 2002, followed 3 years later. From the very beginning, the brothers carried the titles of princes of Denmark. But inside the walls of Schackenborg, they weren't just royals, they were boys running across gardens, celebrating birthdays, and watching their trees grow alongside them. And yet, much of this remained private. For years, the public didn't know that such rituals had been taking place at Schackenborg. The royal family never advertised it. And that's why, when Bill Bladett called it a secret, it struck a chord. It wasn't a secret in the sense of being hidden away in shame, it was a secret in the sense of being personal, almost sacred. Of course, things have changed since those childhood years. In 2022, Queen Margrethe made the decision to slim down the monarchy, and Nikolai and Felix, along with their siblings, became counts rather than princes. Their lives today are far more private, balanced between studies, careers, and the occasional public appearance. But that's exactly why stories like this matter. They remind us that beneath the titles, the ceremonies, and the headlines, there is something universal, the planting of a tree for a child, the creation of a family ritual, the memories of a childhood home. So the next time you hear the names Count Nikolai or Count Felix, don't just picture the young men making headlines in glossy magazines. Picture them as children, standing in a garden, next to trees planted in their honor, watching them grow. Because in many ways, Schackenborg Castle isn't just part of Danish royal history, it's a story about family, memory, and the quiet traditions that shape us all. Thanks for watching, please like, share and subscribe my channel.